I need Jeff Heflin to the cage.
Okay. All right, getting started by wrapping up the amateur portion of our fight card here tonight with a championship matchup in the flyweight division. Jeff Heflin making his way to the cage, taking on Richard Palencia, who is also the bantamweight champion here at Rage in the Cage. Jim Grieshaber, Jamie Varner, back cage side after that little bit of time we spent in the cage, JV. Richard Palencia, a world-class wrestler, coming out of Maryville, wrestling with the likes of his brother, Jose Jr., John Moraga, legendary coach in Frank Saenz. They had an incredible program there, and he takes on Jeff Heflin, who's a heck of a fighter himself, coming out of Missouri. He's a jiu-jitsu fighter and a kickboxer.
This is going to be a tough fight. I mean, I still feel like we got striker versus grappler type matchup, but you know, it's funny how the world of MMA has just evolved so much. Like back when I was coming up, you were either a striker or just a grappler. These guys are doing everything. And one thing, I can't say enough great things about Trevor Lally coaching and Arizona Combat Sports team. They are very well-rounded fighters. They turn wrestlers into strikers.
That's a very eloquent way of putting it as you look at UFC star John Moraga, who will also be fighting on the December 13th card here in Phoenix, and he coaches Palencia. Had an opportunity to do a TV appearance with these guys that we set up at Channel 3. Thanks again to Tyler Baldwin for helping us out there as we see Trevor Lally with Palencia. But these guys are very almost quiet, soft-spoken, just mild-mannered about the way they take care of and handle their business. They've been deliberate with the way that they've gone along in their careers. Richard's been doing it longer. He's 7-0. He's also the bantamweight champion. But you mentioned something about turning wrestlers into strikers. This guy will knock you out if you're not careful.
Absolutely. I mean, he uses his wrestling to set up his punching, and then he also uses his punching to set up his wrestling. I mean, this kid is a real deal. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him in the next year or two in making his debut in the UFC at 125 pounds.
I think we have a few fighters here tonight on this card that we might see in the UFC maybe sooner rather than later. So Heflin, jiu-jitsu and kickboxing against the wrestling of Palencia. Who do you give the edge to?
I mean, I gotta go with Palencia. I mean, he's an AZ boy. He's tough as nails. I've trained with him before. We came up together. We had the same coach. He's a good, tough guy.
Rick Reyes with the intros.
Ellie! Gentlemen, Ellie has the belt you are fighting for. Do you understand? All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the first bout of the second part of Rage in the Cage 174, this is for the Amateur Flyweight Championship Rage in the Cage belt. This fight is brought to you by Cutting Edge 4x4. These are the principals on my left. Fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with gray and white trim. He is 5'7" tall, 125 pounds. Coming to us from Cape Girardeau, Missouri. He fights for Riff Raff Fight Team in Phoenix, Arizona, with a record of 3 wins, no losses. He is Jeff, the Leprechaun Heflin. His opponent, pacing in the blue corner, He is 5 foot 6 inches tall. He weighed in at 126 pounds. Hailing from right here in Arizona, he fights out of AZ Combat Sports, the lab and Fight Ready. With an impressive record of 8 wins, no losses. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Richard Palencia. This bout is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Mr. Al Guiney is our third man in the cage.
Jim Grieshaber, Jamie Varner, cage side for this amateur championship matchup. Richard Palencia, the bantamweight champion, looking to add the flyweight title to his collection, taking on Jeff Heflin. Heflin fighting out of the red corner, Palencia fighting out of the blue. Palencia in the dark trunks as they get it going, Jamie. Palencia
just
and
slanging
Heflin
some
stalking
leather.
each other in the middle of the ring.
I mean, you can see the Muay Thai skills of Heflin using that lead kick, but, I mean, looks like Richard's just setting him up for a big overhand right. I mean, these guys are already slanging some nice jab in, got a double jab in, got him pressured up against the cage. Now, this is where you're going to see the wrestling of Richard Palencia really come into play right here.
And, of course, the kickboxing of Heflin, you always have to watch those knees and those kicks. Palencia at 8-0, a 2-time AIA champion wrestler in Arizona, 4-time Greco-Roman champ, 4-time freestyle champ, fighting out of Arizona Combat Sports, the Lab and Fight Ready, Trevor Lally and John Moraga in his corner. Heflin at 3-0, out of Missouri, fighting out of Phoenix and Riff Raff Fight Team, coached by Breon Sparrow, is happy to have a chance to compete for a title as he throws knee after knee at Palencia, and Palencia with a big left followed up by a right.
This is just quite the scrap, man. Both these guys are throwing down on their feet, exchanging some leather. You just saw a nice left hook from Richard Palencia, ran into that kick. But, I mean, you just see the power in Richard's punches, man. He throws everything he's got into every punch. Got a nice takedown there, almost like a reverse headlock type throw. He's in the half guard position right now. Now, what he needs to do here, he needs to posture up, either look to punch or try and pass that guard. I mean, he's got 2 options right now. Heflin's trying to get him into close guard, which he successfully does. He's holding him down. Richard needs to posture up, look to punch, and try and pass that guard. But
Palencia raining down rights.
Got some good punches there, controlling the feet. Now watch, you're going to see him grab those feet, throw them by. He's going to come with a nice bomb, I would imagine. Oh, lets him up. Nice right hand.
Palencia landing punches almost at will against Heflin, who's back up on his feet after the takedown.
Oh.
Palencia slips on a kick.
Yeah.
And now gives up his back.
He needs to get up. Nice. Look at
right
the
back
wrestling.
With the takedown.
Nice body lock takedown right into half guard again. Now Heflin's flat on his back. This is the time for Richard to pass. If you look, Heflin made a bad move. He turned the wrong way, allowed Palencia to get the mount here. We saw a couple fights in tonight from this very same position.
Palencia ground and pound, watch the back of the head.
Well, if the guy turns his head, it's his fault. You know, you try not to hit, but if the guy's scrambling, turning, you hit the back of the head, it's not Palencia's fault.
20 seconds for Heflin to survive this onslaught from Richard Palencia, and he can't do it. Another outstanding performance from the bantamweight champ, Richard Palencia, and he will add the flyweight championship to his collection with a very impressive victory over Heflin. Jamie Varner's headed to the cage to do the interview with Richard Palencia as we take a look at the replay here at Rage in the Cage 174. Palencia ate a left there, came back with a left-right combo on the counter punch. As the two guys came out aggressive, Palencia then took a couple of knees, but watch this wrestling here, that takedown. He was 3rd in the nation in high school on the mats. His brother, Jose, was a champion. Look at Heflin miss with an uppercut there, but you can see Heflin gassing a little bit as Palencia stalks him and then coming right in on him, and then this is how he finished it off with the ground and pound. Richard Palencia is the Rage in the Cage flyweight amateur champion after this victory over Jeff Heflin. You look up in the cage there, the Highland brothers, Nathan and Nolan. The Rage Babes, there's John Moraga. And we will send it up for the official decision to Rockin' Rick Reyes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 2 minutes, 45 seconds. Your referee stops contest. Your winner by TKO, fighting out of the blue corner and new amateur flyweight champion, Richard Palencia.